Good morning, day 20 of Vlogmas. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. So I am just getting up. I'm going to get my butt in gear and go to the gym to train legs. I will check in with you when this focuses. I will check in with you all later. So I am back from the gym, got legs in, showered. I am just about to eat some breakfast. That is eggs, a slice of Dimfemeyer Carb Smart bread with some cream cheese on it. And that is one of the cookies, the chocolate chip one, the chocolate chip oatmeal cookie that I cooked last night. Some coffee. I'm gonna watch a little vlog action from someone else. And yeah, I got one of my vlogs. I was a little behind again, and I got one uploaded and edited actually before I went to the gym. So I'm basically back on track in terms of vlogging, and I will check in with you when I am all ready to head to work. So I thought I would pop on really quickly and show a quick outfit for the day. It's super basic. I just have on a black sweater with black jeans, and my makeup is pretty much exactly the same as it's been for a while, except for my lipstick. I have on a MAC Whirl lip liner with MAC Whirl lipstick, and then Clay Play on the eyes with Becca Opal on the lid as my highlight. The Princess Power contour kit by Tarte is my contour, and then again Baby Love is the blush along with NARS Deep Throat. I am going to get my butt in gear and get to work. I am super excited. It is Tuesday morning, and one of my favorite things about Tuesday mornings walk to work is I listen to one of my favorite podcasts by a Canadian author called No Sleep to Sudbury. I read last winter his 3 books in succession. If you are a music fan at all, I highly recommend those books. And later tonight I'll pop back on and I think I'll talk about some of the podcasts that I listen to regularly. On the way to work, I often listen to a podcast walking to and from work, or I listen to music, and I have tons of Spotify playlists as well. So I will catch up with you much later in the day. So good evening. It is many hours later. It's actually almost 8 o'clock. And I've been home, I've had dinner, nothing exciting. I've been binge watching Christopher Allen and his Vlogmas, and he's pretty freaking awesome. Maybe I was thinking about, since I had mentioned this morning, hey, I'm gonna do my favorite podcasts or talk about some of the podcasts that I listen to regularly. I really do want to do some of my, maybe I'll divide it up and do people that I love watching their Vlogmas, and then some other people that just in general I love their videos. But yeah, I talked this morning about how I was excited to hear one of my favorite podcasts come out, and that podcast is called No Sleep to Sudbury, and it's by a Canadian author and rock critic, Brent Jensen. He's written 3 books called No Sleep Till Sudbury, which the podcast is named after, Leftover People, and All My Favorite People Are Broken is his last book. And the podcast is based basically off of that. All My Favorite People Are Broken, him and a friend go out and they examine their playlists. And the theme of his podcast is Music That Makes Your Skin Vibrate. So he has guests on and they talk about their favorite music, and it's been great for me. So it's just made me exposed to some music that I probably wouldn't have listened to or wouldn't have found. And then it's also reminded me of a lot of songs that I used to love. And that's really what I enjoyed about reading all of his books as well too, is as I was reading them, I was looking through Spotify and listening to songs that I hadn't listened to in a while, and listening to stuff that I'd never heard of before. So if you're a music fan, I highly recommend that podcast. Then, kind of switching gears, one of my next favorite podcasts is Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. So it's about spirituality, and she's got a lot of great guests on talking about their spiritual journeys. Sometimes, for me, I do find some of it is a little... Some of it is not my speed. That's the best way to put it. But it's always a positive message, and you know, take what you want from it and leave the rest. So that's kind of the next one. Again, switching gears very much, the next one that I listen to very regularly is Savage Love, with the host is Dan Savage, and he talks about relationships and sexuality, and he's very smart, and he's got a common sense approach, and I've really enjoyed his podcasts for, gosh, well over a year, maybe 2 years. I've been listening to him, and yeah. Then moving down the list, this will definitely be a more of a majority of the theme of the podcast that I listen to. I listen to Lewis Howes' School of Greatness, and his podcast where he has on inspiring people, talking about things that they've done in their lives, and really giving you inspiration and motivation. And that's kind of where a lot of my podcast listening goes to. So in with him, I'll lump in some other people that I listen to. Tim Ferriss and Tony Robbins would also kind of fall under those kind of categories of being inspiring and motivational. And then following up on my love of music, I have actually been listening to Alan Cross's ongoing history of new music. So he is a Canadian radio host. He was actually on the first podcast I talked about, No Sleep Till Sudbury. And yeah, he talks about music, and it's pretty interesting topics that he covers. He recently did 2 episodes on Gord Downie, which I absolutely loved. So that's another one of the podcasts that I listen to. A podcast that I just recently found, actually, is called Muscle Expert, and it's hosted by Ben Pakulski. He is actually a Canadian-born, or Toronto-born bodybuilder who now lives in Florida. And I actually used to go to the same gym as he did before he turned pro. Didn't know him that well, but when I was bodybuilding, this community is really small in bodybuilding, so you tend to know people through people, mutual friends, and he always struck me as somebody who was very intelligent. I believe he has a degree in kinesiology, and he speaks from a very intellectual standpoint about bodybuilding and how health and fitness work together. So I've just basically maybe like a month now that I've discovered his podcast, but it's a wealth of information, and it's a great podcast that I've been enjoying. Diabetes Connection, obviously, that is a podcast that I've been listening to for a little while now. I always find it interesting to hear different people's perspectives, different things. They talk about different technologies in diabetes, etc. So for me, it's a good touchstone for finding out new things in terms of diabetes research, and you know, education, that sort of thing. So that's, of course, on my list. And then kind of as a last, I want a little laugh, I will listen to the Joe Rogan Experience from time to time. And then the other one that I will listen to from time to time, but it depends on where I am in my political spectrum. So if I want to hear about politics and if I want to listen to people natter on about American politics, then I will listen to Pod Save America. I will say that Dan Savage actually talks a good amount about his disdain for the current US president, which, I mean, I can't blame him, but I don't mind that, but it's really, I tend not to spend as much time focused on politics just because it's kind of, you can't change it right now. It is what it is. Anyways, I am going to call it a night. I think, or I hope I'm not getting sick. My blood sugars lately have indicated that I possibly am getting sick. I wasn't sure if I was getting sick or it could just be stress related, work-wise, obviously. Quarter end, a little bit of pressure. So I thought maybe that was it, but I was feeling really tired when I was snuggling up to my iPad watching Christopher Allen's VLOGMAS. So I'm just going to edit yesterday's vlog, get it posted, and possibly go to bed early. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see when I post uploads, then click the notification bell. All right, thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day.